guys, why is the ground shaking?
A few moments later.
So what are plate tectonics? The theory of plate tectonics is a scientific theory that explains how the Earth's features are created, destroyed, changed, and how they are moved. The theory of plate tectonics suggests that the lithosphere, which is the Earth's outermost layer, are broken into plate tectonics that move slowly across the Earth's mantle. Asthenosphere, which is a semi-fluid layer that is in the upper part of the mantle below the lithosphere, allows the rigid tectonic plates to move on the lithosphere to move across the surface. The asthenosphere is an important factor because it is a driving force behind plate tectonic movements, continental drift, and geological events that associate with each of them.
Evidence that helps support the plate tectonic theory is the discovery of continental drift and how it was found through the meteorologist Alfred Wegener. When he saw that all the continents together, he began to think of how it was all able to fit into one another, which was later known as the Pangea.
Heat within the asthenosphere creates convection currents where heat generates from the Earth's core that causes less dense magma to rise, cool, and become denser as it moves towards the surface. It sinks back down to be reheated and the cycle goes on. Hot material rises and then it cools and then it sinks back down.
A transform boundary is a fault in the Earth's crust which has two tectonic plates that slide past each other in an anti-parallel way. The divergent boundary is where two tectonic plates move apart and it creates mid-ocean ridges.
A few moments later.
An essential part of the tectonic plate theory is how they were affected by ocean floor features. To further understand this concept, we're going to take a deeper dive into a specific feature, known as a trench. A trench is a narrow depression found on the ocean floor. The depressions themselves could be several kilometers long and are largely regarded as the deepest natural resources around the world. Knowing that you have a basic grasp on trenches, let's take a moment to explore their history, more specifically, their formations.
The convergent boundary is when two tectonic plates meet and one slides beneath another in the process of subduction, as well as is a clear example of how trenches are formed in the ocean.
To continue, trenches have a boundary association to convergent plate boundaries. To go more in depth, a convergent plate is when two or more tectonic plates move toward each other and collide. This causes subduction of the plates. This is when a dense part of the lithosphere moves or slides between the less dense due to buoyancy and gravity.
The examples are all geographical events that had happened due to the plate tectonics are: volcanoes are formed from plate tectonics due to hotspots, mountains are formed from convergent and divergent boundaries, as well as earthquakes happens from the friction of the plate moving. One last crucial type of evidence discovered was the Earth's magnetic field. The Earth's magnetic fields cause newly formed oceanic crust at the mid-ocean ridges, provide strong evidence for seafloor spreading at the moment of tectonic plates over time, particularly through a phenomenon called paleomagnetism, provides strong evidence for seafloor spreading and the movement of tectonic plates over time, particularly through a phenomenon called paleomagnetism.
After watching this video, you should know what plate tectonics are. Plate tectonic is a scientific theory that Earth's lithosphere is made up of several large tectonic plates that move over the atmosphere at the layer of liquid rock that interact with each other. The Earth's lithosphere is made up of a dozen large plates and several smaller ones. The plates are made up of rigid rocks that can be made up of all oceanic lithosphere. All continental lithosphere, or a combination of both, to continue, there are three types of plate boundaries. Divergent boundaries, plates move away from each other at these boundaries, which can be found in continental rift zones or mid-ocean ridges. Transform boundaries, plates slide past each other at these boundaries, which often associate with earthquakes, and the San Andreas Fault in California is an example of a transformed boundary. Subduction zones are plate converge at these boundaries, and one plate is forced to go forced under another into the mantle. The interaction of the plates and their boundaries can result in earthquakes, volcanoes, and mountain ranges. And to wrap it up, the theory of plate tectonics built on the earlier idea of continental drift and was solidified in the 1960s. The Earth's history can be thought of as a supercontinent cycle, where supercontinent fragments then collide to conform new supercontinents.
Using the knowledge you now have on the plate tectonic theory, we invite you to further explore the different types of ocean floor features, including rift valleys, abysmal plains, and more. Now, you won't question what that strange rumbling is coming from the ground.